Hi folks, today I am going to talk a little bit about one of my favourite games as a coach, which was the U10 Girls Washington Cup final last year, 2019. Also going to try and not touch my face during this whole video, so if I put my hands in my pockets, that's why. So my team was Celtic Go9 Green. Here in green we were playing the Gunners Go9 A team. Okay, they're here in red and the ball is here in yellow. Okay, now start of the competition, the Gunners are probably the favourites to win. We're probably second favourite, and so in the group stage we both win our opening 2 games. So regardless of what happened in the third game, we were both going to play each other in the final. The Gunners are actually coached as well by one of my friends, Gareth Vaughan, so it added a little bit of extra sort of significance to the competition. In the third group stage game, we actually played the Gunners and they won that game quite comfortably. But regardless, we played them in the final the next day. It was a little funny in that we had tryouts, both ourselves and the Gunners had tryouts on the Sunday evening when the final was due to be played. So we debated having the final be played as the third group game. Ultimately, we decided not to do that. But the Gunners may have regretted that in the end. But yeah, we didn't have a great record against the Gunners team, and they had beaten us on the Sunday morning in the third group game, so we decided to change things a little bit going into the final. Alright, we had nothing to lose, so we figured why not change things up, see if we can get a different result this time. So typically we're a team that would like to play possession, expansive football, and we'd set up in a 2-3-1 shown here, so we'd have 2 defenders, our 3 midfielders and our striker. But we decided to drop our centre midfielder back, so we'd have 3 defenders at the back, and we pulled these 2 midfielders in more central. Okay, that meant we had more numbers behind the ball. We had this player who could directly mark the striker more closely, our 2 midfielders more compact in the middle, and it meant we could mark their 2 midfielders a bit more closely as well. The Gunners like to build up down the sides through their outside backs, so conceivably we could shift and have 4 or 5 players behind the ball blocking their path to goal, whereas in the other shape we might have only had maybe 2 or 3 players blocking that path to goal, so it was a little bit more defensively solid. Okay. So start of the game, as in previous meetings, the Gunners dominated possession, they put us under a lot of pressure, but we withstood that early in the game and we managed to score the first goal. When we had the ball, instructions for our striker and our other players were to try and find these spaces. Because the Gunners outside backs would go up high and support the attack, they would often be left with maybe just 1 player back here, their centre back. So if we could win the ball back in these areas, we were looking to hit these spaces, and that's what transpired for the first goal. Okay, we won the ball in this area, our right back Evie won it. Immediately our striker recognises, okay, here's the space for me. Great ball down the line. Our striker Anna runs onto the ball, manages to beat the first player, their lefty. Okay, their centre back has come into cover, manages to beat her as well, and then super finish. Really great goal to start us off. And we didn't score too many goals against the Gunners in previous meetings, so that was a real fill up, real momentum boost for the team. Second goal, stroke of luck really. Their keeper is very high off their line. Ball is played back by the Gunners defender and the keeper just takes a loose touch. Again, our striker Anna steals in, wins the ball, finishes very coolly, put us 2-0 up. So we get into the second half, so we get into half time 2-0 up. Second half, the instructions are just to be really defensively solid, close those gaps at the back, really safe when we're defending 1v1, not diving into tackles, making sure the distances between our midfield and our defence very close together, very compact, and making it very hard for the Gunners to play through, dribble through, get shots away. And we did that to great effect. The Gunners teams really struggled to get any meaningful chances, struggled to pass through us, struggled to really get shots on goal. So we defended heroically. Really some brilliant performances that day. We managed to get a third goal with about 10 minutes to go. Very similar situation. Gunners build up down the left side, our right D wins the ball, and then instead of our striker making this run, we had our right-sided centre midfielder Alison make this run into this space. Ball is played down the line, and again she does brilliantly to control it, beat the first player, and also beat the covering player to then fire past the keeper. Another superb bit of individual skill. The Gunners did put us under a bit of pressure for the last 10 minutes. They managed to get a goal with about 7 minutes to go in the game, and that was a bit scary, a bit nerve-wracking, but the girls again defended heroically, really shut them down defensively, and it was a superb win. It was actually maybe the first time in 2 or 3 years that we'd beaten that team, since both teams had really formed, you know. Very often the games would be 2, 3, 4 goals difference. There were some close games, but we'd never managed to even get a tie against the team. So given that we'd lost to them earlier that day, that we'd never beaten them, that we weren't really holding out too much hope in the game, it was a fantastic feeling for us to win that game. I was really pleased as a coach to see the team adapt to some tactical changes, change in shape, something that we hadn't really done before. And the girls did brilliantly to adapt to that and to play really well after a long weekend of some tough games. It was a magnificent performance from the team, and one that I really enjoyed as a coach.